Hello and welcome back to VIP Tutorials. In this short video I'll show you how to sort of do a celebrity makeover and using really simple tools in Photoshop and applying a couple of filters. There's obviously a lot of different options that Photoshop offers in order to correct the facial features, but let me show you a technique that I worked out over the years while working with Photoshop. Let's start with the photo and right click on your background of whatever photo you might be working with and just click duplicate layer, then click OK. Now we're going to hide the original background or the original photo that we're going to work with. Now we're going to use this duplicate layer in order to create an emulsion or a mask of sort. And the best way to start doing this, it might look a little bit weird at the beginning, but you'll understand how this thing is done pretty soon. So let's select the lasso tool. Now we're just going to make a selection around our model's face. And now to make sure that the selection is pretty smooth, let's go into Select, Modify Feather, and a radius of 5 is about right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to inverse that selection. So we're going to basically cut out everything that's around the model. Going into Select, Inverse, Edit, and Cut. Now the only thing we've got left is sort of just the area of the face, and to make corrections for some of the let's say areas that haven't gotten selected, we're just going to use a simple eraser tool. But also when we're going to be working with these sections and applying different digital makeups, we want to retain everything that we want to remain or keep sharp within the photo, within the original photo. So obviously what we're going to do, we're going to actually erase the eyes, the lips, just because we want these areas to be sharp. It might look a little bit unnatural at the beginning, but this is how I started creating different masks for different photographs. And I noticed that a bridge of a nose is an important area, as well as the eyebrows. Now here we have a majority of the skin being sort of selected and visible. What we're going to start working with is just applying a simple layer or simple filter, and it's called Gaussian blur. What that's going to do, it's going to smooth out a lot of these wrinkles. This is a quick tutorial, so I'm going to show a little bit more advanced techniques on our tutorial CD, but for this particular lesson, I'm just going to show you a really quick and nice way of making really neat adjustments to your photographs. So now, since we have this mask selected and we applied the filter, now let's bring our background back into the existence. And now let's go around the lips, and let's just go ahead and erase some of these areas that are covering the lips and prohibiting the lip area from being sharp. And although it doesn't look natural right now, we're going to increase or decrease the opacity of that mask layer that we applied. So this is before, this is after applying the layer, but at the same time we want to decrease the opacity so some of the features and contours of the face do show. I would suggest using, let's say, something in the vicinity of 60-65%. You can even decrease that a little bit more to 50 and so on and so forth, until you feel that the contours of the face are natural, but the wrinkles and the blemishes on the face disappear. Now at the same time we can go back into our background and we can start correcting, let's say, the color of the eyes, let's say increasing the brightness and contrast. So once you're done with applying that sort of digital makeup artificial mask, what you can do is just shift click on the background, highlight both of these layers, right click on them, and we're going to merge these layers together, so now they become one graphic. Now let's go ahead and switch to brush tool, and we're going to use a color burn. Switch your foreground color to black, and now we're going to actually make some of these areas a little bit darker. So we're going to make, let's say, the eyebrows stand out a little bit more, and we're using opacity of 10, and we can just decrease that for the purpose of the eyes. So we're just going to highlight the eyes a little bit more, make the eyelashes stand out. And I'm going to do the same thing with the area of the lips, just increase the makeup Okay, and now also we can switch the color of the brush to, let's say, something dark green, and apply, zoom in, Control plus on the eyes, and just click on the eyes, on the central part of the eye twice. And now we're gonna switch the color mode of the brush to color dodge to bring up the bright areas within these eyes to make them stand out a little bit more. Now let's see how that looks. And now let's take a snapshot. So this is the photo that we started with, and this is the photo after applying some of the digital corrections. Now at the same time, if there is still a little bit of blemishes left over, what you can do is you can use a healing patch tool or patch tool, and all you have to do is just select around the area of the blemish that you want to remove, drag away, and match it with a color that's sort of of a similar quality. And if you're satisfied with the photo, final adjustments could be adjustments of levels or curves. Also, simple adjustment of brightness and contrast might as well do. And we're going to increase the brightness slightly and increase the contrast to bring in some of these hues and saturations. Now, the final thing I wanted to add is whenever you're working with a photo and you apply a Gaussian blur as your mask, what you want to do is make sure you go into sharpen and unsharp mask. What that's going to allow you to do is bring a lot of the details back into the photograph. Now let's decrease the amount of that mask, not to make it appear too unnatural, and let's click OK, and let's go ahead take another snapshot. So this is what we started with. This is after adjusting the color of the eyes and the lips, and this is after adjusting the brightness and adding a little bit of sharpness into our photograph. So this is before and this is after. I hope you liked this tutorial, and please stop by at our website viptutorials.com in order to watch more videos on Photoshop training. Thank you.